day, guys. My name is Adrian Davis, and I get to do what I love every day. And today what I want to do is I want to come before you and talk to you about our morale sucks. Okay? So that's what I want to do, is give you about 5 minutes of information, and then if you want to follow more information that I have, I'll give you that information at the end. Okay, so let's talk about it really quick. Let's define morale. Morale is the confidence, enthusiasm, and discipline of a person or group at a particular time. Now, what we break that down to say is, if you're in a workplace or you're a part of an association or a group, how confident are you in the ability of that organization making sure that they're getting the work done, they're knowledgeable, they know how to treat you as an employee, they know how to interact with their customers or the internal and external customers. You know, what's the enthusiasm level? Are people excited to be there? Are people wanting to be in that place? Or is it a drudge? Every day you walk in, everybody has a cup of coffee in their hand and they're like, "What's up? Hey man, how you doing? Another day, another dollar. You know, woo, this is the best place on earth." And you feel all the sarcasm in it. If you have said, "Man, he's right on point," you've heard those conversations or you've said it yourself, then we got to figure out what's going on with the morale. Because let's just be honest. The enthusiasm is one of the big indicators there. The discipline there. You know, how disciplined are the people? Are they ready to go in and do what the execs really want them to do? And then when they do that, are they cutting corners? Are they being sidetracked by every little conversation or things that come up from the outside? Are they disciplined to do the work that they're out there to do? And of course, like I said, it's at a particular time. So you should do this more than one time. You should sit there and do an analysis on your company or your organization or association or affiliation more than one time out of a year. If you do an annual morale study, then what's happening is that it's not enough. Because what you're going to do is get only a focus in that particular time, but you still got 11 other months of opportunities that you can figure out what's going on. So this is what I want to show you. This right here shows like a scale. And this is just the way people look at things. This is right here at par. I'm not upset with my job. And I mean, it's not the most exciting place, but it's paying the bills and I'm not really frustrated about it. No one's getting on my nerves. But every action that goes on, or series of actions that go on, move you up and down the good to bad scale. That's just the way it works. That's the way it works. So you got to understand that your managers, your execs, the way HR treats people, you know, the way employees treat each other on a peer-to-peer level is really feeding into the morale. So I get conversations all the time where people say, oh my gosh, these people just don't know me. They just don't know how to treat us. They. And who is they? Well, you're probably talking about either your manager or your execs or the higher ups. And even some of the higher ups talking about the higher ups. So what I want us to be able to do is that we got to be able to look at this morale situation and say, you know what, how can I make sure that people are being engaged? Because here's the problem with bad morale is that you have high turnover, which then talks about low productivity. And then here's the part that some of the folks who are so black and white see is that there is excessive amount of just financial just black holes where the money is going out because people are turning over. So now you got to train these people, and studies continually say that when you lose an employee, you lose virtually 1.5 of the amount that you were paying them for the year. So if a person is making $40,000 a year, then when you lose that person and try to bring someone in, you have just went through the process of about $60,000 because it's 1.5 times of what they were being paid. So that's how expensive it is for you to let somebody walk out the door because they're frustrated with the company. And sometimes all you have to do is say, we really do appreciate you. We value what you do. We're going to treat you like a human being, not like a cattle. I need you to understand that morale does more to hurt or help your company than just being a word in space. So I really, really would love for my managers, middle execs, and higher execs to look deeply into this and say, how can I make sure that my people are fully engaged? Because you want them engaged in the positive manner, because if a person is on the bad side of things, sometimes they'll move all the way into not being engaged to being actively disengaged, meaning they're coming in trying to find ways to be disengaged. They're trying to find ways to do that, and that's just bad. That's bad for business right there. So I want you to take away something from this, saying that my morale sucks, is that we got to find a way to flip it. And the one way we can do that is make sure that we appreciate people. Tell people thank you. Sometimes you can go ahead and ask them, how do you want to be appreciated when you do such an amazing job? I feel like you're doing such an amazing job right now. How can I appreciate you? Just that conversation alone sits there and says, they believe in me. They recognize what I'm doing, and I am so glad that they're doing that. Sometimes they don't need to be blasted all over the newsletter saying, this person did an amazing job. Sometimes they just need to, you need to just tell them thank you, throw a little certificate behind the way. Or sometimes somebody needs to gloat and says, I need to be in the newsletter because who's awesome? I am. And the manager, if you are secure in who you are, you'll be glad to do that. The higher management will be glad to do that because you know what you're doing is you're making sure that that 1.5 times of their salary is not walking out their door. And you're willing to say, look, I'll print a certificate, I will put you in the newsletter, and I will say how amazing you are, because the truth of the matter, you are. At that moment, you are, and we recognize what you're doing, okay? The other thing is you challenge your employees. A lot of people leave because they don't feel like they're challenged. And people have to feel like they matter and they make a difference and they are moving towards a part of the solution of whatever you're doing. So you got to find a way to know who you are working with and who is working for you and how you can challenge them. And the last thing I would say to you is coach them. Be willing to coach your employees. Coach the folks that are right up under you or 2 or 3 tiers below you. Find a way to coach them, because they may want to be on the ladder upward, and if they feel like there is no open mobility, they are willing to walk out the door because they feel like there is no way that they can progress in the company. But if you show them, here is a path, here's a career path, this is what we can do, this is what we will do if you do X, Y, and Z, if you continue to succeed in this level, in this area, we will make sure that we get you up. When you do that, man, your morale will start to move back up the levels and people will feel good about this. Make them a part of the company, make them a part of the solution, and I guarantee you, your company won't say my morale sucks.